Nope.
Yo guys, what is up? It's Electroburger here, and I'm back with another Toontown video. Now, you may see a little bit of a different video today. This is not like more normal content. I'm actually going to be trying something different today. So, what I have in front of me is a Toontown Trolley game tier list. If you don't know what a tier list is, it's basically a list of, you can make your own lists of anything you want. Most of them relate to video games, and I've decided to make one for all the trolley games in Toontown. So that's pretty cool. And I'm gonna rank them all. Usually they're ranked by letter grades, like S, A, B, C, D. But I've changed that. So now we have Toontastic, as these are like the best games, the ultimate best games. We have Great, we have Meh, and You Stink. These are all Toontown quotes, by the way. So yeah, Toontastic, Great, Meh, and You Stink. So, let's get started pretty swiftly here. I'm gonna go in the order. All these trolley games here. There are, how many are there in total? There's like 15 or 16. Let me do a recount. 16. There's 16. All right. So our first game is Toon Escape, which is right here. What I feel about this game, honestly, I think it's a great game. It definitely has the energy, and a lot of tunes like it. I know a lot of people who like this game. There's definitely a sense of competition in this one. It does get kind of glitchy at sometimes. I remember there was a glitch that happened a while ago where like the tune would spin around or whatever. But other than that, a great game. I can't argue with that. Moving on, we have Catching Game. And Catching Game, this game is only really fair to taller tunes, so I guess I'm included in that. But it's really not that fun of a game, I suppose. It lasts like a minute, kind of a long time. I know Toon Escape lasts longer, but at least you're doing something fun. In this one, you're just catching apples or whatever fruits you have in the playground. I don't really know what else to say about it. I'm probably just gonna put it at meh. It's not really my cup of tea. Not my favorite game in the whole bunch. Next up, we have Photo Fun. This one is obviously gonna go You Stink. No one likes Photo Fun. I'm sorry if you do. I'm sorry, but like, I don't think anyone likes Photo Fun. The way you play it is just horrible. I mean, sometimes you don't even get to take pictures of all 5 of the tunes, and honestly, it's kind of just boring to sit there for a whole 2 minutes or whatever, just taking pictures. Like, you'd rather be moving around or something, or like having some sort of adventure with it. But honestly, that's all I can really say about it. It's just it's a You Stink. Next up, we have Toon Slingshot. This one, again, is not really my favorite of the games, mainly because it does take quite a while to play. I do have a lot of memories of playing this game and not landing on the target. Sometimes when you get close to the target, you don't land on it properly, or like it just it glitches you off to the side a little bit and you don't get your points. And there's not a lot of jelly beans to offer in this one unless you're in like Donald's Dreamland or the Berg, so I'm gonna have to put this one as a meh, just as a brutal opinion. Next up, we have Toon Memory Game, and this one, I'm gonna go for a little bit of a controversial choice here. Since most people actually dislike this game and would probably put it in You Stink, I'm gonna put it in meh. Now, there's one reason for that only, and it's because if you do actually end up completing or matching all of the cards correctly in a short amount of time, you do get a hefty amount of jelly beans for it, and that's a bonus for me. And it's also worth noting that with 2 or more tunes, you can just spam click throughout the entire thing and just get it done within 30 seconds. It's really not that hard, but I don't think it's worthy of a You Stink because of the jelly beans purely. I think that the jelly bean reward is good if you're actually gonna do good at it. And I'm good at memorizing stuff, so I guess it's fun for me, but it might be worse for some other people. I'm not really sure, but yeah. I'd say it's a meh. Next up, we have Ring Game. Ring Game is a bit tough to decide where it's gonna go. I'm deciding between great and meh, because the simplicity of Ring Game is there. It's a pretty simple game, you just swim through the rings. It's pretty easy in any playground. The only hard part is when you have to deal with the figure eights, I believe, in some of the harder playgrounds, but that's pretty easy if you're an expert at the game like myself. I would probably put this at great just because it's easy, it's fun, you get your jelly beans, and it's competitive with other players. You're able to have a lot of fun with it. Match Mini. Oh boy, Match Mini is one of my personal favorite games. This is probably, I think, up there with the race game as one of the most competitive games in Toontown, and I just think that because a lot of tunes don't like this game for some reason, or at least the ones that I know, and I have to disagree with them there. I think this is a toontastic game because you don't really get to know how fast the other people are going. It's a short game. It's different than a lot of the other ones. It's, rather than moving around or taking pictures like Photo Fun or, having to move your tune around, it's just like a simple standard room with Minnie and you're just matching her movements, and it's pretty fun, pretty easy. Definitely fun for competition, and it does have a decent amount of jelly beans too, so I'm gonna have to give it a Toontastic. The first Toontastic of this video. Next up, we have the Maze Game. This one is, I would consider this game to be the Toontown Classic, meaning it's like basically the standard game of Toontown. It's the game that pretty much starts, every new toon is like able to figure out how to play this game immediately because it's simply just a maze. And it's simple in what it is. It's practically like Pac-Man or like a simple maze. You're just running from the cogs. Most of the time it's pretty easy, and it's also pretty competitive. It's surprisingly a great game. I feel like it's a great game. It's pretty simple in what it is. People hate it because it's too simple, but I hate it. What did I say there? I like it because it's simple, and great sense of competition. There may not be a lot of jelly beans to it, so that's why I would say it's not Toontastic. But other than that, I think it's a great game. Next up, we have Jungle Vines. This one, this one's tough for me. This one's really tough for me. If I'm honest, Jungle Vines is kind of between great and meh. If I could put it like in the middle here, that would be ideal, but I can't. So I'm gonna put it in meh. Now, I like Jungle Vines a lot, but I think it's only good to play in the easier playgrounds. Like once you get to Dawn's Dreamland, it just gets really difficult, but there's a lot of competitive spirit there. I'm looking at a lot of these games for competitive spirit, and it's there. That's the only reason it's not even close to a U-Stink. But at the same time, I feel like it gets pretty boring after you play it over and over again. Like, you know, you kind of don't, a lot of people don't really like to see Jungle Vines over and over again in the trolley, and I can understand that greatly, so that's why it's in meh. Next up, we have Cog Thief. Now, with Cog Thief, this one's a little bit tough too, but I think the new style of Cog Thief, especially the Toontown Written one, is a great game. I feel like, especially with one person, it's definitely a reward and a half to be able to defend all of the barrels, and if you do, it's over 40 jelly beans, and that's just in Toontown Central. Like if you go to DDL and somehow defend all 4 barrels, which is hard to do, but I've done it, then it's a hefty reward, and it's definitely worth your time. And with other people, it gets pretty fun. It's a lot of communication involved. You have to decide who goes where, who's throwing at what, who's defending which barrel, you know, all this kind of stuff. It's definitely a lot of fun. I definitely enjoy it every time I play it with friends. That's why I feel like it's a great game. However, for the OG Cog Thief, which isn't on this list sadly, but I would put the OG version, aka the version with a different camera angle and different setup, I would put that in meh, because that one was a little bit, it's basically the exact same game, the only difference is that it's harder to control, at least in my perspective. I've never seen it, I've never really seen it as easy to control in that game, and that's kind of why I've never really enjoyed it. At least the older version back when I played on Toontown Online. Still an okay game, but I would put the OG version in meh if I had the chance to. Tug of War is your pretty standard game. This one's gonna be kind of short. I don't really like this one. It's not a U-Stink, but I don't really find any real enjoyment in it. Actually, you know what? Ooh, this is tough. I'm gonna put it in U-Stink, just because there isn't that many other games in U-Stink so far. But I'm gonna put it in U-Stink because, and solely because every time I get this game, I kind of just want to get it over with, and I don't really like having to press my arrows like you know, super fast, and eventually just gets like I can't keep doing that. So yeah, honestly, that's the only reason I dislike it. I mean, U-Stink, I think it's just a U-Stink game because every time I get it in the trolley, I just really don't want to play it. I don't want to have to go to my keyboard and spam arrow keys. I'd rather just move around or click something or whatever. But yeah, it's a U-Stink. Ice Slide is the Toontown minigame that decides who your real friends are, because you can lose friends with this game. This game gets very intense, and that's what I love about it. It's toontastic, hands down. You can knock people into TNT, you can knock them out of the way from barrels, and out of the way of the center. It's so fun, and not only that, it's a longer game, but at least you're like having a sense of strategy and competition throughout, and especially with 4 people, it just gets so enjoyable. And in the higher playgrounds with obstacles, and I can go on and on about Ice Slide. It's a great game. I definitely enjoy it. It's toontastic, hands down. Toontag is another excellent game, I believe. It is definitely worthy of being toontastic, and it has that competitive spirit, but I'm gonna put it as great. I think for the sole reason that it is kind of glitchy sometimes. Like, there's been times in my past where I've tagged someone and then it just didn't register it, and then I would struggle to run around and try and tag people, And the jelly beans aren't super high, especially if you're playing with 4 people, because there's only so many ice cream cones. You sometimes don't even break 20 jelly beans from this minigame. So that's why I would probably put it as great. But other than that, great game. I definitely enjoy it. Nothing else really to say about it. I don't have any real problems with it other than that. So, Toontag, great game. Almost done now. We have Cannon Game. Now, I think this is kind of the same level as Maze Game, where I say, like, they're both kind of like the default games to Toontown. Like, I would think this is minigame number 1. Like, this is the game that really defines the Toontown Trolley games. And for that alone, I'm going to put it as great. It's simple. It's a simple concept. It can be competitive, although usually most of the time people just find themselves shooting and aiming and getting it in the first try. That's what usually happens, especially with a lot of expert players. But you can't really go wrong with the Cannon Game. I don't really hate it every time I grab it. Every time I get the game, I actually enjoy playing it. It goes by pretty fast, and you get up to 20 jelly beans, sometimes more in a different playground. It's enjoyable. I really enjoy Cannon Game. I can't hate it. It's a great game. I think we have purposely put the 2 best games for last, and that's kind of a spoiler, I don't really mind. Treasure Dive is Toontastic. I like the competitive nature of this one, very enjoyable for sure. I think what I like about it the most, actually, is that it gives out so many jelly beans. And I think recently they increased the timer so that way you can actually get 3 treasure chests at maximum at a time, rather than 2 and possibly 3. Like, it made it a little bit easier to get 3 treasure chests now. And that's what I enjoy about it. And there's so much jelly beans to go around. If you played this game in Donald's Dreamland and got all 3 chests, which is a little bit hard to do, but it's pretty easy, you get 90 jelly beans, which is really impressive, and I really enjoy that. And even in the Berg, I think you get around 71 or something jelly beans. I might be wrong. 81 maybe. My bad. But you do get a lot of jelly beans from that game, and it's fun. It does get kind of hard sometimes in the harder playgrounds, but it's still Toontastic. I don't care what anyone says. I really enjoy it. And last but certainly not least, we have Race Game. This one is one of the best games. It has to be Toontastic. This one just... I just love picking 4 every single time and having my friends pick 3 or 2 and trying to stop me. It's all pretty much luck based. So you can't really say you're good at Race Game. Like, you could say you're good at Match Mini, you could say you're good at Cog Thief, you could say you're good at even Cannon Game. But with Race Game, you can't say you're good at it because, like, you can be good at picking numbers, but, like, it's all pretty much down to luck and strategy. And it's mostly the luck side. Like, this game is pretty much determined on what you guys pick as numbers, and your friends can totally screw you over or give you a free ride to the finish line. It honestly, it's so unpredictable and it's so fun to play. It has to be Toontastic. No doubts there. And that completes my list. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to subscribe and like, as usual. I'm posting a lot more now, and we're trying to increase the channel every day, get more subscribers in, so please consider subscribing. I would really appreciate it. This video was a cool idea of mine that I really enjoy. I also want to nominate other tier lists. People, if you guys want to make tier lists on Toontown, do so. If you want to respond to this video with your own list, please do so. Shout out Anthony Ranieri for his YouTuber tier list video that kind of inspired this.
Good work, dude. Keep up the good work. That's how you go in A tier.
And lastly, if you agree with any of these, let me know in the comments. If you disagree, let me know. Tell me what you would do. Tell me where you would put these games. Do you think Photo Fun is toontastic? Do you think Match Mini sucks? Let me know in the comments. That's all I want you to do. Well, and like and subscribe, of course. That's also important. But yes, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this Electroburger video, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace out.